everyone, it's Lisa from My Dreaming Soap. Welcome to my channel. Now, what I'm doing today is a little while ago when I was planning all my soaps. So basically plan out my whole year of soaps right at the start of the year. And one of the things I've decided that I'd like to do is do an inspired by little series. Now I'm not going to do them all one after another, I'm just going to drop one in every now and again. And these are going to be soaps that maybe I've seen on YouTube or somewhere that I've thought, wow, that's really cool, or there's something about it that I really liked and it's maybe stuck with me. Now I'm not really one for copying other people's soaps, but you know, sometimes when you're inspired by something, it is nice to have a go at yourself. And the other idea here is that I can then give a shout out to these people, say this is a soap I thought was sort of stuck with me for a while and I've always thought about, you know, oh, I'll have a go at doing that. And obviously I will link, if they've got a YouTube channel, I'll link their YouTube channel in the description, and I'd love you to go over and see them and see their original version of the soap or whatever, or whether it's Instagram or whatever, and show them a bit of love as well. So obviously these, as I say, it's just literally some soaps and things that I've gone, gee, I really like that. Now my first soap that I'm going to do in this little series is a soap made by Yvonne. She has a YouTube channel, which I'll link in description below. ohmycattles as well is another name that she goes by. And she's always made some really brilliant soaps. And she's got a very big YouTube channel, so you probably know her already, but I'll link in the description below. And this was a soap I saw a few years ago where she was making a soap and she was using borage in her soap. Now, I'm not going to go and do that. It was the technique and it was the design that I thought, oh, that seems really cool. And as I said, it was a soap that I saw a few years ago, and I've never actually done it because I thought, oh, I don't want to be copying, but I thought this would be a good opportunity to give a shout out. It was one of those soaps that's always stuck with me, and I thought, that's a really cool one. Let's start making this soap then. So this is one of those pours that you're going to do all at once. So I've got all of my oils here and all of my lye solution. I've already pre-dispersed my micas in some oil, and we'll talk about those colours when I start mixing things together. So let's get this soap mixed up. Okay, so I'm just doing my straightforward soap in my normal recipe. I'm not putting any unusual additives or anything in. Okay, I'm not going to mix it too much because I've still got to muck around with my colours and everything, and I want the trace to stay reasonably light. Right, so I've divided those colours up, so let's get those all mixed up together. So this is that beautiful sunshine yellow. It's really the only yellow I ever use from Mica Mama. It's a beautiful colour. I don't feel the need of having more than one yellow when I've got one that's so beautiful. This is terracotta red. And again, this makes a really great red. The name, I think, is off-putting from the point of view if you're thinking it's going to give you a lovely proper red. Because it doesn't give you that orangey terracotta. It gives you a nice proper red colour. And then this is just some good old titanium dioxide. And then my lime green from Pure Rock Colours. Okay, so quite a sort of bold colours in the soap. The yellow will dull down a little bit, as they do tend to once it's gone through gel, but not too much. It won't fade very much. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm just going to check these are emulsified. Now, as far as I can tell from this method, is you want to have a nice fluid trace, but you don't want it to be really fluid, because we're going to pour the colours on top of each other and we don't want them to just blend together and just be all blurred. So I do want to make sure I do at least have a bit of a trace on these, just to make sure I'm going to have some success with that pour. Let's get my fragrance oil in those. Now today I'm using raspberry lemonade for my fragrance, and this is raspberry lemonade from Nature's Garden. This is one of my favourite fragrances. It smells absolutely amazing. A lot of my customers really like it as well. and it's really lovely and slow in cold process soap. It doesn't discolour, and so it moves nice and slowly and holds up really well. And bear in mind, in the UK we only use 3% fragrance in our soap, and this still gives us a really wonderfully smelling soap. In my opinion, there's no need to use any more. You're just going to be pretty well wasting your money if you're putting more than that in. Just doesn't need it. For our pour, I'm going to be using a slab mould, although Yvonne did one in a slab mould and she did one in a loaf mould as well. However, when she did it in the loaf mould, she didn't pour it all the way to the top. She did it sort of 2 bars deep and then sliced in the middle. But hopefully you'll go and watch her video anyway. So I've got my loaf mould, my slab mould just tilted up a little bit, just so I can sort of pour a little bit along the wall. The slight issue I've got with mine is because mine is one of these slabs that has dividers in. It's got some little notches here, so as I pour along, it's going to be a little bit notchy, but hopefully that will be okay. Right, so what I want to do is get some of these colours and layer them in the jug. A bit like you would lots of different pours, you know, some people do a thin lines pour like this, some people do like a one pot wonder. We're not filling the jug all the way to the top though. So you can see I'm going to do a bit of the yellow. I'm going to go for a bit of the red. A bit more yellow. And maybe say a bit of the white. Okay, and each time I pour, if I remember, I'm going to do a slightly different set of colours. Right, so the idea here is to just pour them along the wall of your mould, and as the other colours come out, is to start shaking the jug. And obviously the more you shake it, the more little cool designs you're going to get. So do maybe some straight lines, some shaky bits, some like shaking all along rather than in blobs, and then maybe some more straight lines. I mean, how cool does that look? Okay, and then as I get to the bottom, I'm just going to start layering again. What should I start with this time? I might do red. I'm going to bring in some of my green this time. I haven't used my green yet. Green. Yellow. More red, I think. Okay, let's try that again.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down. jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high, even if the sky is falling down.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Look how cool that is. Okay, so I'm gonna even that out. I think that's pretty even now. Okay, so obviously that is what the final design will look like, and each bar will have quite a unique design on it. So I'm just going to now pop these away overnight, and then we'll have a look at them and cut them up tomorrow. And in the meantime, well, obviously not in the meantime, because I'm probably going to be back here in a few seconds, don't forget to pop over to Yvonne's channel and have a look at her when she made this original soap. Hers was much more neutral colours. She did a lovely, as I say, lovely borage, and it's a really lovely soap. So do pop over and have a look. Here's our soap a few days later. Now, whenever I do a slab soap, I always leave it in the mould quite a bit longer than I would do a loaf mould, just because of the larger surface area there can be more prone to soda ash. So I always leave it, 2 or 3 days. So let's get these cut up. Obviously, we can see the design already, so there's not going to be anything really different. Just chopping them into bars. Now, the other thing is my mould, you might have noticed the mould that I use, is actually one of those moulds that comes with dividers. So I could have pushed these dividers in. Now, the reason I didn't do that, and why I'm cutting it manually, is because I thought the technique that when it was poured would be quite groovy. As you can see, that's really cool on the side as well. So therefore, by cutting it, it's maintained that technique through the side of the soap as well, so it's on more surfaces. If I'd used the dividers and pushed them in while wet, it's much more likely it would have dragged through the soap. And on the side of a soap, like this bit, I'd have got more of that effect on the sides, whereas now I'm getting bars that have a really cool effect on the side as well. So that's why I didn't use those dividers. Sometimes I do if I'm doing a more plain soap, but sometimes I don't if I think it's worth having the pattern showing. There's the top. See how cool those sides are? Last one. Oh, there we go. Okay, so there's the first 3. So our next ones. Third ones, and it's amazing how, well, not amazing really because of the pour, it's just how different each bar is, and I really like all the groovy sides on them as well. So there we are, quite a selection of a themed selection, but they're each quite different, aren't they? For example, this one quite yellowy and red, and the groovy sides, whereas let's say this one, look at that, much more green in the red, really nice and feathery. That one's come out really cool, hasn't it? And the sides are all great on each of them. So that was a nice technique to use. Don't forget, I've linked the original video that I've taken inspiration from in the description below, so please do go and see that if you haven't seen that video already. I hope you enjoyed this video and you like the soap. If you have, it would be great if you leave me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see what I'm making in the future, why not subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Happy soaping.